to Not Movies. This is a podcast where we get together each week and write a ridiculous movie. I'm Sean.
I'm Summer.
I'm Eric.
I'm Eric. Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
You want to correct that or no?
No, I'm going to leave
All right, great. I'm Eric.
All right. And it's our goal each week to come up with a beginning, middle, and end and have as much fun as possible. Yay! Thank you for coming to the Not Movies headquarters.
Yes.
We've got the media lunch break with us today.
Yeah.
And now tell them your names.
Oh, yeah. I'm Chris.
I'm Andrew.
Welcome.
Well,
Thank you. And for anyone who doesn't know, that's a podcast. We're not like a band or a political organization or anything.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
But by the end of this podcast, we might be.
Who knows? We never know what we're going to do when we start an episode, literally.
That's true. We very rarely know what we're going to do.
No.
So
Today is no different.
Today is no different.
Can I just compliment you on how seamlessly you went into that intro? Because I was hearing the theme song in my headphones, and I was like, is he gonna... Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I'll just talk over anyone who's talking before. And Summer's the only one who doesn't wear headphones, so she doesn't know when to shut up.
Because I don't know when the music's playing. It's fine.
Normally you just don't want headphones, but today there aren't 5 channels.
I actually wanted them today.
You wouldn't be able to have had them had you wanted them. Although you could probably share with Chris, he's only got one on.
That's true. That's
Press
detaches.
the side of your face up to my face.
Yes. What a good welcome.
Yeah, that's a nice introduction.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming all this way from New York.
Absolutely.
You're
to be here.
our farthest traveling guests, I think.
Yeah, suck it, Latrell.
Yeah.
Matt Raj came from Florida.
Not specifically
you guys are
to do
our
this.
second.
New York is further from Florida than Florida.
What?
It's further from Florida than Florida. Everyone knows that.
You're the
said,
people who
Andrew.
have traveled the farthest specifically to be here.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll
but
give him that.
we actually went east and traveled like through Europe and through China and California.
Oh, well then you
and
guys
we
were
came
safe.
Yeah, you took the scenic
you definitely
How long
went.
did it take you to get here?
It's actually a lot longer than it should.
But-
If you ask Google Maps, it took us 2.5 hours. It probably took us like 4.
Okay.
We got lost
wow.
and stopped a lot.
So my brother did come from Harrisburg, but
That's
not as
true.
far.
Not as far at all.
So we know sort of what you guys are into.
Yeah.
What a
on
creepy
limited
thing to say.
level because we've
And we're
listened-
here to talk about it.
because we've listened
Because
to
I don't
you
know how to
talk.
shut my blinds.
We usually like to leave it up to the guest to point us
no.
in the direction
This
of
is going to be a porn then.
where we're going to go today.
We haven't done that yet.
We've never written a porn.
I did actually think that too. I was like, they've never written a porn. That could be interesting.
The steak could be
true.
today.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
Not with Chris sitting next to me.
No.
Okay. Did you have any ideas beforehand?
Don't look at me. No, I don't think so. We don't write things
Okay,
down.
then let's go
Not
this
idea
way.
men
What
so
kind of
much.
movies do you like other than the things that you get to talk about normally
Yeah.
on your podcast?
I was going to say porn. Comedies.
Comedy.
Yeah.
I like a lot of comedies.
Yeah,
You
we
too.
do like a lot of the comedies.
You guys do a lot of comedies, though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
be different. I'm trying to establish ourselves.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
What about like a weird, artsy, obscure,
Oh,
like a
like a pretentious,
yes,
like art house
art
film.
house film.
yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's how we establish ourselves. We do things differently.
And
Like
and we have
hosting a podcast about comic books and movies.
Yes,
Really separating
that's
ourselves
what I'm
from the
talking
pack.
about.
call it something. It's got to be called something like and don't use this title, but like The Searchers, even though that's a real title for a movie with John Wayne, but like something vague,
Right.
you know?
Andrew, what do you think of The Searchers?
The Surgers.
That's pretty good. Can we
Yeah.
get John Wayne to be in it?
Yeah, I think
All
we
right.
could do that.
Okay, cool. Done. Next one.
I think John Wayne Gacy is in jail. That's who we're
I think he's
or is he
dead.
I think he's very dead.
He's dead. Okay,
yeah, I
great.
think so.
Okay.
He was like 300 pounds, so if we didn't kill him, the burgers
Life
did.
did.
I'm just trying to think of a sort of an ethereal.
Ooh, ethereal.
What a great word.
Somebody's using that word of the day calendar I got,
We normally
though.
waste all this dead air at the end coming up with the title. We want to maybe try to think of a story first?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I guess that's a good
All right.
idea.
I mean,
So John Wayne
what's-
Gacy comes out from the woods. No, what are we doing?
That's pretty good.
Arises
He has
from the grave.
magic
Yeah.
powers.
He
do
died
we
in
wanna-
1994, by the way.
Do we want
Okay,
to do
thank you.
a pretentious artsy film?
Yes.
We've never done one of those, I don't think.
Yeah.
Wasn't John Wayne Gacy also the one who dressed up like a clown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do like that's artsy, right?
I guess. I mean,
I do have an art piece with him in it, featuring
do
him.
you?
Yeah.
I've heard of people
It's
buying
a
pieces.
doodle.
Wait, has this
Oh, no,
already
not
been
by
done?
him, but
No, I drew
No, no,
him.
no.
him?
Oh, I see. I was like, wait, has this already happened?
No, no,
I know
okay.
I've heard of people owning pieces of art of John Wayne Gacy as the clown and stuff. I was like, why would you put that in your house?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh,
Sorry,
What
everyone.
if it's about someone who owns a lot, who loves to collect John
they're
Wayne
an art.
Gacy?
They're an
Oh,
art
that's so
collector.
pretentious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
it is
it.
kind of pretentious.
and I mean, they see the value there, and if you don't, fuck you.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
What if his goal is there is a rumor that John Wayne Gacy painted a self-portrait at some point and he's trying to find
And he's
it?
trying to find it.
I think John Wayne
Yes.
Gacy did paint self-portraits and sell them, and that's like a thing. that
yeah, he
happened.
did though, and I feel
Some
like
of them
Is
have
there
some
one
jail.
that's
you could
gone
track
missing?
them down.
Is there one that he kept somewhere that
There could
The
be.
rumored,
like
the,
the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I
of
was
John
just
Wayne
gonna say,
I was
Gacy.
going to say
Yeah,
this
like
is like an
the-
Indiana Jones movie.
yeah, but with a John Wayne Gacy painting.
Okay, so it takes place in Greenwich Village,
Yes.
and
Where's
this-
John Wayne Gacy from?
I don't. Wait, was he from Jersey?
Milwaukee
no,
or
no,
something.
Not
The
Jersey.
Midwest somewhere.
There's
It
no
doesn't
way
matter.
to find out.
Yep, no way of
So are
knowing.
you looking it up?
Well, I was looking up to see if there is any, like, yeah.
Art
only-
on
It's
The
eBay?
10 previous
I think
paintings
part
by
of-
serial
I-
killer John Wayne Gacy. Blah, 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 blah.
I think part of it, I think when I think of like these kind of movies, there is a sort of non-romance happening.
Right.
So
There's gonna be a lot of romance happening in this one. It's just gonna be one-sided.
Well, is John Wayne Gacy in it?
Oh no, he's
no,
not.
he's
Okay.
dead.
I keep
No,
forgetting that we're not.
wait, he's
Yep.
in jail.
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's
Gotta be
dead,
94.
94.
Very dead.
Okay.
I mean, you can. I mean, you can't really be very.
I was
dead,
just going to
guess.
say, there's only
Yeah.
one state of dead.
So who are these characters then?
Well, is it, I mean,
The person that's searching out this painting.
Do we think someone has hired our protagonist anonymously?
Oh, so it's
So-
like a Da Vinci Code,
Yeah.
or like a Ninth Gate kind of
Yep.
shit.
so the person going along is not the person who actually is going to keep the painting.
Right.
It's their job to go find the painting.
Right.
Yeah, and they get. No, I can't do that because now I'm turning it into.
You
a
were
not,
so excited for a minute.
I was turning it into a not movie, and and they get partnered with somebody they don't get along with, but that's like a buddy cop thing.
No, that's different. Let's mix and match things.
And that-
That's never been done.
And that person is a house.
Yeah.
He gets matched with a
House
lovable
Arrest is-
dog.
That's one of my favorite ones,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so who is the then? Okay, so they go along, and is it? Let's say for right now, it's a guy, and he goes to this mysterious house where like there's a lot of random weird art,
Yes.
and the
It's real weird art.
yep.
So how did he
You
find
can, like,
this
scroll through this.
guy? Was it like
I'm saying that this guy is going, and he gets like an address or something, and
right? I'm asking, how does this guy
How does
find
he
this
find
house?
him?
Is it Craigslist ad? Where
My
why is he
guess
going
is
to
Is
this
he,
house?
well, I guess, is he a person, like, is this his official job? Like, that's what he does, is he goes to find rare antiquities? Like, he's hired by people
yeah.
who are like, I would like this
He-
Well, it's-
vintage
it's
bottle
possible-
of wine. Go
yes,
find it. And-
or he's just that's my new version of improv.
yes, or
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yes, or he is just like just a random dude looking for jobs on Craigslist.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I like
yes.
that.
I like
with a
that.
random
Yes,
job.
I actually like that a lot better.
Okay.
And it also kind of gives it kind of like a little bit of a thrillery opening to it to me because
It's a
anytime
little more mysterious.
It's
Yeah, for
mysterious
sure.
because he's like he's not looking for trouble, but he could fall into some trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, and he also wouldn't know his way out of the trouble necessarily. Like, he'd have to figure it out on the
Right.
fly.
He's
as
got-
opposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
be
He's not a
prepared
hero.
for all situations.
So I'm
Potential to be more bumbling.
picturing somebody that's like kind of a little bit aimless by choice, maybe. Like they're like, I don't want a simple 9 to 5. I like these odd jobs, and he finds this thing on Craigslist that they're like, I need somebody to maybe just deliver and transport the painting.
or they bill it as like scavenger hunt.
right.
Art scavenger.
Art scavenger.
Art
hunt.
scavenger?
Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
something.
I think, is he
Maybe
like,
he's got a background in like art stuff. So
Yeah.
we know
Art
history.
scavenger.
Yeah. What if he's?
Or
What
he's
if
like he knows enough to know.
He's like, I'm a scavenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say,
I
what
get
if
out of the
he's
trash.
what if he's a guy who's in, say, like his mid-20s or so?
Yeah.
He's like maybe 2 years out of college.
Yeah.
But he has one of those. And
Weird
I'm so-
jobs?
No, I was gonna say, and I'm sorry to anyone who has something like this, but like one of those. Like really useless art degrees, like I'm not saying all
One of
art degrees are
those.
useless. I'm saying
What?
but he's
Like from University of Phoenix.
yeah, but he had a major that, and he has a degree in something that it's very specific, and it's not like it's going to go towards getting you any typical office job, and so he can't seem to find a job in his field, and he's just looking for.
Maybe his job was painting, or maybe his degree was just fine art.
Right.
Painting.
Yeah. And so he's just looking for like some kind of job to pay the bills on
Yeah.
Craigslist, and he sees this thing for an art scavenger.
Yeah.
Which is semi.
And he's like,
related.
I mean, I know art, so I could probably be able to identify.
Bingo.
You know, if they give me an artist, I could go and definitely verify if this is a true thing or not.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, let me give this will pay the bills.
Bingo. Yeah.
And he goes to this house.
Like it looks like Grey Gardens. Like it's out
Yes.
in the middle of nowhere.
I think, Sean, you were asking, how does he find this house at some point, right?
Yeah.
Was that a question you were
But
asking?
I think we answered that kind of
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
Craigslist ad.
Well, I like the idea.
Well,
like,
I was going to say, whoever is hiring this person just gives him the lead.
yeah,
Right?
I think
Okay.
I'd love it if
Well, oh wait, I thought we were talking what was the house gonna be? Was that the person who's hiring him, or was that?
I think
that's
that they are somebody that
What is
owns
this
a lot
house?
of art, and the person that's hiring him is like, it's not like a like a yard sale or something, but it's like this house
It's just-
houses a lot of like, and the previous owners have died,
Right.
And this.
it's just full
I don't
of
want to.
stuff.
I don't want to say it like this because it's a art house movie, so it's this like
Art
Art
house.
house.
no. Well, I'm saying the woman, the girl, and
Okay, our movie is called The Art House.
Oh,
Yes,
John and
yes.
John.
it both is, and it also works as a like mysterious, pretentious sort of.
Yep.
Which is in itself pretty pretentious.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's working
It
on
walks up
meta levels.
Yeah. And she is not a manic pixie dream girl because that would be like a quirky indie movie. So what is the equivalent for like a art house film? She's She's much older than him.
Yes.
She's a widow.
Is this the person who lives in the house?
Yeah.
Who
This is
are we
the person who
describing?
lives in the house who's
Okay.
gonna hire him.
Or
Yes.
so
where you're going?
okay, so up to here.
The person who hires has got to be mysterious. This is not the
Yeah.
person that lives in the house.
No.
The person that hires them sent them to this house because they know that they can pick through lots of
Yes.
great, cool, weird art.
Yes, and this sort of detached, beautiful but much older woman is like the groundskeeper, the woman that is like maybe she can't hold on to the house anymore because it's too expensive.
Right.
And she's a widow. Maybe her husband.
Wait, is she the groundskeeper or does she own
No,
it?
I think she works
No,
there, and the
she
people
owns
that
the
that.
house.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I think it would be interesting if she was like someone who worked there, not the owner of the house. The owners of the house die. She's lived there her whole life, and
In what
she needs to
capacity
get
has
rid
she
of-
lived there? Oh,
she's the art curator.
As help.
Can it just be
Sure,
revealed
I
at the
don't
end
know.
that she's a ghost? A spooky
She's
ghost?
been dead
do it
for
that
20 years.
Yeah, I think that should be it.
What if
I that could work.
Can
No,
that
I
be
don't know.
something?
It doesn't matter.
Is that something
I'm
that
fine
is
with
eventually
either way.
revealed? Like our protagonist just assumes that this is the person who owns the house.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say what
That's interesting because it leaves I think that could even be a fun second act kind
Yeah.
of reveal. that
We
she
should do the
doesn't.
Friends ending.
Well, I was gonna say, what if you kind of leave it kind of questionable if she is the person who is hiring this guy, or if she is just someone speaking for the person who is hiring this guy?
Oh.
Like you never quite know through the conversation
she's a representative.
if she is a
Yes.
representative of someone else
Yes.
who wants him to go do this, or if she in fact is the one employing him.
Yes, and I think that it should be revealed in the second act, not to get too far ahead, but there should be a reveal that she's neither and that she's squatting in the house.
Yes.
That would be
Do you mean literally squatting, or do you mean,
mean,
living in the house when
She's a
not supposed
squatter,
to?
but
Yeah.
like she's
I think that's cool, and I think
she's
it should-
wearing
But
the
there's a
clo-
corner in the house where
Where
she
she
does what she
squats.
does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Sean,
because there wouldn't be any working plumbing.
Right. Exactly.
I was thinking that like she wears very like kind of cloistered, like old timey, covered up modest clothing that's antiquated, but she's just like some woman that's just found the closet of the previous woman that was living there, and she's just
Happened to
wearing
be
the
the
clothes.
same size.
wearing whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So in the beginning of the movie, how about he goes there and she's being like sort of cryptic and detached, but he assumes that she's probably who put the Craigslist ad.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
She's probably who that is. And maybe she's, talking about her client or her boss or whatever, but he thinks it is, and then he finds out later that
Or maybe
it's neither.
And maybe the boss, because I'm leaning. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm leaning a little bit more towards she's not the person that hired him.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
Yeah. I think we.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
okay.
that, no, I like that second act reveal.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
No,
And-
I get
I
it,
think-
Eric. I'm falling asleep to this too.
Yeah.
No. I'm kind of into it.
No, I think maybe she talks in such a way that she never quite
Exactly.
She never says I or they. She just says, kind of facts like what is needed for this assignment or what is needed for this job is defined, blah, blah, blah. Do you think you'd be capable of doing that?
So okay.
And
Yeah.
she always talks in a neutral way.
Okay.
What if what's our main character's name? Do we have one?
Simon.
Simon.
Ooh, I like that.
What if Simon sees a painting there or something that he wants to buy or like something in the house? He's like,
Yeah.
what's the deal with this? And she just gives like a weird non-committal
Because
answer.
she doesn't know.
Right, and he doesn't
anything
know.
about
Like,
this stuff.
Right.
does that mean I can take this? Like, I would offer you something for it. And
Right.
Yeah.
So that just kind of makes it weirder.
That put a pin in that.
Okay.
Definitely that. Because I want him to have personal investment in something that he finds there.
Oh, yes. And that's why he takes this job. He's like, okay,
Then he
here's the
wants to
deal.
spend more time there because he's like, oh my god, do you realize what you have? Maybe.
Right.
But I also think that the person that sent him there is like, they have relatives that are going to be coming by and picking up some things. They are old money. They're a little weird. So that when he meets this woman, he just takes everything to mean, okay, she's one of the relatives.
Yeah.
And what she doesn't know or things she seems like distant is just because she's part of this kooky family, but she's not. She's
just
you know.
a random
Yeah.
person.
Like a homeless person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Squatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. She's not homeless. She's at the yard
She's a
house.
squatter. That's a level up.
Yes.
Yeah. She's worked
Homeless
hard to
with
squat
initiative.
to get into that house.
Yeah.
She had to jimmy the lock and then climb through the window.
I believe it's called a bohemian. It's the
Yeah.
bohemian lifestyle.
I learned about it in Rent.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think she's been living there for, I don't know what do you guys, I think she's been living there for like a month or two.
I think she walked
Sounds
in
right.
right before he did.
Oh,
And found the
That's
person.
it just
Well,
just
just
went
like,
with
oh.
it.
Yep. Just went
You're
with
the
it.
guest, so let's go with that. I kind of like that.
she's
idea.
just
Terrible.
nuts.
That rule is an awful rule in this particular circumstance.
Oh, the rule of like when you're
You're the
acting,
guest,
it's
so
like,
we'll
oh,
defer to you.
the strongest choice is like,
No, that's a good idea.
That's a good
Okay.
idea.
That's what I'm
Giving
saying
the
we
guest
should do.
reign over this is for the two of us is probably a bad idea.
Yep.
oh,
Nah, it'll be fine.
Well, I do still have.
You're not even
You
awake
realize
right
we're
now.
gonna
I know.
lose, we're gonna
It's
lose
fine. That's why
millions
it's
of
fine.
dollars on this.
Yeah.
So what is the next artsy thing that should happen in this movie?
Well, he's got to go.
Oh,
so
right.
then he's got to go.
Sean's idea about the painting. I want to go back to that.
I still don't understand the movie.
And that's the
That's
point.
the
Yeah,
point.
is-
That is the point.
Yep.
Okay,
Because
good.
the whole point is by the end of this, when you don't get it, your friend's going to turn to you and say, you're not deep enough to get it.
Yeah.
That's the whole...
How much time has what we've created so far taken place? Because I feel like the artsiest thing is like 45 minutes. Just walking around looking.
Yeah. You're not... There's not a story.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like, is
it
that like
sounds-
the first half of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It always sounds like there's a story at the beginning, and then midway through, you're like, wait, what happened to. And then that's,
And then
you're
that's
like-
really the story.
And then
then
you're
credits.
like, oh, I guess they're finding themselves. And then...
That's the.
And I'm finding myself
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
can think of a couple things that could happen.
Yeah.
The old money family who were going to be coming back from the original email could.
Oh, yeah.
That
Could
could
actually
be a
come back.
catalyst for action, and they find this old woman, and they find this person who is supposed to be there, but he's working with this old woman in some capacity.
Oh, so the actual owners of the house are aware that the art guy is there.
Well, it's
Is
coming.
that what
Well,
it
they-
is?
yeah.
Is supposed to be there.
Sure.
Because they had hired him,
Okay,
right?
because that's where I'm confused.
Somebody from their
Yeah,
estate
yeah,
or
yeah,
their
yeah,
lawyer
yeah.
or somebody, sure, has
Yeah.
hired them. So that's one possibility. We could go that way, or we could go and explore this scavenger hunt. Is he looking through the house to find something? Is he trying to catalog things? Is he going outside the house to find something?
See, I think as soon as he turns around, she just is gone.
and now he's left in
Now
this
he's
house.
alone.
And now
the
he's
house.
got to figure it out.
Another way we could go is
I do
maybe
want
the
them-
house is sentient.
Sure.
Shit, man. We're breaking the
You know
rules
that.
of the art house. film.
I'm not familiar enough with the tropes.
They're navel gazing, you know.
Maybe she is the house.
I want to. I here's
She's the
That's pretty
personification of the house.
Yeah,
Here's-
incarnate.
Here's one thing I think that is necessary is they need to fuck and then and,
Her in the house?
this older woman that is pretending to be the person, she needs to have sex with him.
I mean, she takes off that buttoned up,
Yeah,
and she's smoking.
I would say smoking. She's like, you would say, it's like, oh, she's beautiful in
smoking
a
as
very
you can be
European
for
way.
sex.
I say from here up, from neck up, she is 75. From here down, she is 22.
74.
This isn't Michael Bay. We're not doing that kind of
Okay,
movie.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did we nix the porn?
Is John Wayne Gacy still in this?
Oh
There's
man.
so many questions.
There's a fine line
I'm
between art and porn.
confused.
It's all
What if we
masturbatory
make
anyway.
an art
There
house
needs to be
porn?
plenty. There needs
Masturbation is involved in all of these
Yes,
things.
he needs to masturbate in this stranger's
No.
house at some point because that is artsy as hell.
It's
It
the
really is.
aristocrats.
That's
At least that's what I
artsy.
keep telling
That is
my wife.
fucking artsy, and I think there needs to be. You need to see nudity.
Well, why doesn't she come? Why doesn't she walk in on him masturbating
Yeah.
to a painting and then says
Of John
I
Wayne
can help
Gacy.
you with that or whatever?
Yeah, and
That's
Wait,
the
no.
line.
and the line is, your line is, need some help?
No, the line is I can help you with that or whatever.
I think the art housey thing to do is he's masturbating in a room. He
Yeah.
turns around. She's standing in a doorway watching him.
You're
He
right.
freezes and she just looks at him for full 5 seconds and then walks away saying nothing.
No.
and there's
Or
no
starts unbuttoning her.
there's
Yeah,
no
I guess either one of those.
explanation
That's
of whether she
probably
was
better.
approved or disapproved.
I love where you're going. Can I take it a step further?
You can take it 3 steps
Okay.
further.
He
No more, no less.
He's masturbating, but he doesn't know why. At first, he sees.
He doesn't know why.
No wait, he's
Mindlessly
Hey,
masturbating.
look, we've all been there.
That's how I do it.
Wait. He sees a strange abstract painting, and you don't know a lot about this guy Simon, but he's doesn't have a lot of friends. He sees the painting and then he starts to cry.
Yes.
But then he
Yes.
starts getting attracted to the painting
Yes.
and he starts masturbating
Yes.
on the side of a bed. And then she walks into the doorway and she's framed by the doorway. It's a beautiful shot. And she is watching him. He does the same thing. He sees her. He stops. She doesn't react. And then he slowly
Slowly
goes back
starts
to
to go, yes,
masturbating.
yes.
And she stays there until he finishes.
Does
and then
he
she leaves.
keep eye contact?
Yes.
All right, great.
And then
With the painting or with her?
with
Yes,
her.
with her.
he's
Okay.
cross-eyed.
And and she waits till he finishes. Nothing is said, and she walks away.
Does he hit
Yes.
the painting with? Never mind. That's a question I don't want to ask.
I was going to ask that question too.
That's like, oh.
I don't think
Did
you
the
should.
painting have the effect
Is it
on him?
artsy if he does, or artsy if he doesn't?
Wait, I miss it. If he what?
Does he hit the painting?
I
Is
mean,
what the question was.
it's very.
Does he
which
aim
movie is
away
that?
from the
happiness?
painting?
Is it happiness? No,
Oh.
it's.
You're
The
thinking of,
Dreamers.
no, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's a penis. It's a porn that you saw.
It's the Dreamers.
It's like it's,
It's
ha,
the
a
dr-
penis.
Yes, that's the one. That's
It's
the
the
one.
Dreamers.
Because it's also a painting of John Wayne Gacy as a clown. Ha,
Ah.
a penis. Ah, a penis.
All tied together.
So what?
What the fuck were we talking about?
one of those versions happens.
Yeah.
So he maybe put semen on a piece of
now
art.
he's definitely staying the night in this house.
Yes, yes.
And-
Well, yeah, it would be rude not to.
Yeah, and she's what does she tell him? Like, you know,
I
is
mean,
she trying to?
wait. So after this scene, I like that she just walks away.
Right.
and
Yeah.
We don't know.
It's
what she's
never
thinking.
referenced again.
No, you can't.
In an art house movie,
not
you
artsy.
can't ever
Or-
reference it
Yeah.
again.
Maybe, does he come down in the middle of the night to get a glass of water and she's masturbating to the
That's what
painting?
I was gonna say.
Yes.
I was gonna say the exact same
Yes.
thing.
In front of the same painting?
Yep,
It's
of
a,
John Wayne Gacy.
It's the scene right after that scene. And,
Great.
Right.
And credits, because that's it, right?
And then post credits.
And the post-credit scene is 45 minutes.
Yes.
It's
They
the other
find
half of the movie.
Oh,
Thor's
that's
hammer.
genius. Yeah, yep.
So now, we got to kind of figure out now where our arc is going, or
Yeah.
maybe we don't. Maybe
There
it's-
isn't an
maybe
arc.
we stay in this.
I
There's
think
no
it's
arc.
not an arc.
There's no
so
arc.
in an annoying,
Be bold. Be ambitious.
yeah, in an annoying indie art house film,
film.
fashion, they don't explain it because he gets there. There is talk about like, well, I these are so many great paintings, and then it's just like nothing is explained, but he's like living there now because that's what they do.
Right.
And you're like,
oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think he sees the ad. He goes to the woman. They kind of. She explains that the job is like somewhere in this house.
Yeah.
Is a painting amongst all of this stuff is a painting by John Wayne Gacy. You need to find it. He goes searching around and he finds it like kind of early in the movie. So, so the audience is like, well,
what happens
that's
now?
the end, right?
And then he masturbates.
And then he masturbates. Then the masturbating scene, and then fuck. Hold on, I lost it. It'll come back in a second. Give me 3, 2, 1. So other.
Hey, Chris, I want to say something real
Great.
No, go ahead.
No, but yeah, I like where you're going. So like then he just decides to stay, and it's never really made clear why he stays.
And
because
it's frustrating
now
to
the
watch.
storyline has taken a different turn. Because you're right. I think he just starts to stay.
Yeah.
And
Can I offer an ending, or is that uncouth to do before?
No,
Totally.
No,
you go ahead.
No, because we can.
I just had a thought because I wasn't listening to you,
Yeah, that's
Chris.
fine.
That at some point he wanders out, and there's like a person who's just come into the house, a new person who's sort of younger than him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You have to look for this painting. They need this painting." And at some point, the person turns away, and when the person turns back, he's gone.
Oh.
And the
I was
cycle
gonna say
continues.
before when you mentioned that before when she disappeared that he should just be the new person to take over
And it's
that
a cycle.
house, and there's always somebody that has to take over.
Okay.
I was thinking.
I like that.
I'm
ending.
open to that for sure. I think it actually the only
Don't
thing
patronize me.
the only thing that I was like, I don't know, is that it makes even a little bit too much sense.
Oh,
That is like it kind of
yeah, you're right.
yeah,
That happens a
It kind
lot.
of ties itself together.
People
And-
just disappear all the time.
Well, no, then I'm like, okay, she was a ghost. He's a ghost, which I
But
think
he wasn't a ghost before he came in. Does it kill people? Does it turn them into
I guess,
apparitions?
You know what? You're
It turns
making
them
a
into
good
paintings
case
on
for
the
it now.
wall.
It is,
You're right.
it-
It
it-
makes sense.
You know,
Yeah,
it-
let's go with it.
It asks more questions than it answers.
That's true. That's true. All right, I'm on board for
yes.
It could
Steve Holt.
you could turn into a
it. So I think that, but she at some point does reveal that she's just not. She's living there. She's not.
But she disappeared, didn't she?
Well, I don't know when.
Well, when are we doing? All right.
Well, I mean, she could disappear at the end, but I mean, like in the second.
What
act,
if she intermittently is never there when he is looking for her, but is always there when he's not focusing on her? Like at one point, like he's trying to find her, and he's even just trying to find maybe where she sleeps, like her bedroom, and there's no clear room that she would be staying in.
Right.
But for some reason, like he's looking for it, but for some reason this doesn't alarm him in any way. He's just like, oh,
It's a big house.
that's odd.
Kind of
Must be
loafing
another
around.
one.
That's
Yeah.
which also gives you a chance to like explore the house,
Yeah. Yes. And
basement, backyard.
at
whatever.
At one point, I think they should. So something else I think kind of needs to happen. I'm not even saying explain itself, but I mean
Right.
like in between the masturbating scenes.
Maybe we need
That is a sentence I never
some
thought I'd
cheap
have.
filler.
Yeah.
What if he, as he's looking throughout the house, there's I like the idea that in an art house film, there's
Yeah.
always like that kind of weird. It's not a montage because there's no music.
Right.
I was
but
going
there's
to ask,
also
how many
no
montages are there? in
There's no. It's not a
films
montage.
usually?
There's always not a montage. It's not a montage because there's no music. But there's always like a good at least 5-minute scene of someone doing several different things.
Yeah.
jerking off to a bunch of the different
But like
paintings, or-
looking through it, like he'll walk into a room and he'll look around, and then it'll cut to him walking into another room and look.
Yeah.
And it's that, and there's just no explanation. And maybe there's one of those, and he goes into either a room or, for some reason, I feel like it could be the basement or something, and it just reveals something slight about the history of this house. Nothing definitive. Like there's a picture of a family, and it's not clear if this is.
And she's
The
she's
current
not
owner
in
that
it.
is-
That is
Last
stolen
time-
from The Shining.
Yeah, and he's in the picture.
Yeah.
That's not what I was saying.
No, I just assumed.
Oh.
Fair enough. But like he just sees like one thing that is maybe not art. It's like it's a personal thing.
And it makes him cry.
And it makes him kind of starts masturbating. Yeah.
Yep.
But like he sees one personal thing and he's just like, huh, that's it.
It's just
and
like a
then
sandwich on the counter.
And
He
then
starts
again,
crying
he
and
walks
starts
off and we
masturbating.
continue and it never gets picked up again.
I like it. I like that. I think that
put that in between the two.
Yeah, masturbating scenes. I think that I don't know why this is where my mind goes. I was like, but what would another a frustrating movie like this that I sat through because I'm trying to impress some girl would happen? And she one day is acting very excited because cousin Bart is coming to visit, and you're like, who the fuck is cousin Bart? And it's just a really weird character actor in a really and he's also equally dressed old-timey, and he's eccentric.
Says no lines.
Or I think he could be very verbose in terms of where she's not as much. And he makes things more chaotic. He gets in his face. You definitely have some possible incestuous undertones there. And then he starts getting like territorial of his cousin.
Yes.
And then in one scene he has a 7-minute long monologue as he the main character Simon hears a crash, and he wakes up and he runs downstairs, and cousin Bart is like looking out at the veranda or something, and he like his hands like bleeding because he like threw some glass or something,
right?
And he gives a really long monologue about like some bullshit. And
while snorting like an entire jar of cocaine.
Yes. And but give me something that doesn't really matter.
The plight of the white man. I don't know.
Yep.
The plight
of the wealthy.
Or the wealthy. Yeah.
What if he has this like 7-minute long monologue trying to paint a metaphor that sounds like it should fit into the movie but doesn't? Like, did you ever notice something about groundhogs? And 7 minutes on
what if it's 7 minutes on how art films shouldn't be made?
That just gets so even more meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something like that where it's just like
you're like, since Simon's like a struggling painter, he should be talking about like, why do people make art? I don't understand why people make art.
Right.
Art is bullshit.
The visual arts are.
And, does that sound like Cartman?
Like, that's bullshit.
And then he's like, he does say it's bullshit, and he pulls down his pants and he shits on the carpet, and Simon's like, what the hell?
What if he pulls down a painting first and shits on one of the paintings?
Yes. Because
he starts ranting about the pointlessness of art, and it's all subjective.
Yes. Exactly. We are now talking down to our audience about art and like its relevance and current.
Perfect.
And then
that's what I've always wanted.
Yes, she comes down the stairs in like a white old-timey nightgown, and she's like, cousin Bart, I think it's time you retire to bed or something like that.
Right.
And he's like,
it's like 2 p.m.
Sure.
Except our hero has also just awakened as well.
Yeah.
But he could be taking a nap.
He's fresh out of college, so.
Sure. Yeah, right.
And then it ends with Bart disappearing or killing himself.
I think disappearing, and he never like. It's
just not explained.
He's like, hey, what happened to the guy's like, hey, what happened to Bart? And like,
someone's like, oh, he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
What if there's like a big storm outside and he just leaves?
He runs out into the
storm. And he's never seen it.
Slams and he's just.
Does he run or just like stumble slowly out and no one follows him?
Yeah. And it's a long. Well, it's not a follow shot. It's not a tracking shot, but it's a oneer, and it just is static over the like balcony as you see him stumble. Into the
darkness.
Yeah, into the wheat field behind them.
Like a field of dreams.
Although, again, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you see him go for a long way.
Yeah. And we don't move the camera off that shit.
Yep. Until he hits the horizon and disappears.
And then like 2 more minutes, just static shot of just
the wind,
the field. Yeah.
Oh,
and you're like, wait, did the camera guy fall asleep?
Yeah.
What's happening?
And then not only do we say after he disappears, then it slowly pulls back like past past our protagonist, like over the shoulder, and then we hold for another minute of him watching the story for no reason at all.
Yes, and then we pull back further,
and she's watching him watch.
Yes,
and then we pull back again, and we see a cameraman.
Yes, yes, and then maybe I don't know. The cameraman turns to the camera. And just stares.
Wait, which camera? The one behind him or the one he's holding?
Well, he then turns the camera. Well, okay, so there's two cameramen.
He gives a very Jim from The Office kind of look of like,
I think he does.
That ruins the rules we set up, guys.
I guess that's true.
I think he looks into the camera and gives the most common look of just like, listen, I don't know what the fuck these people.
Well, that's sort of what the Jim look is.
Yeah.
I think it would be a stronger choice if he looked into the camera, a single tear came out, and he started masturbating.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So it's like art watching art watching art.
Watching Bart.
Watching Bart. I did not intend for his name to be Bart because of art, but oh my god, it worked out perfectly.
When I was in the other room, I thought you said barf, and I thought, oh, we're doing Spaceballs too?
Oh.
I'm going to pitch one more thing for, like, just after the credits, where after she disappears, he disappears. Does he just becomes the becomes the new
creep.
Squatter, I guess.
The new creep.
Then we...
Does she become the new Bart?
I was going to say maybe he puts on
to...
Bart's jacket and starts dressing like Bart or something.
That could be like an assumed thing. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was going to say maybe we just pan out through the city or something, and she's like there, and she's just like a homeless person.
Oh.
Again, and then we're really like not sure what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe that makes it make more sense because they're like, oh, she just left. We would, if that's gonna be the case.
No, I think that's better because then
we have to really see her disappear.
Yeah.
Before that,
I kind of like her just then if you leave the house with her, and then follow her, and she gets on like a train and it's raining, and she takes a train to like, I don't know where. And then you're like, wait, what is happening? This movie's really lost.
She just takes the train and finds another house to squat in.
Or she just lives on the train.
She just
starts putting art up on the train.
I think she just gets hit by the train and it ends.
That's
something tragic happens and it's done.
That's pretty artsy.
Doesn't answer any questions.
Yeah.
Doesn't tie anything up. She dies.
Should it be? Should it be?
I think she jumps onto the
Yes.
That's
what I was going to say.
It's like credits, and it just opens on a wide shot of her standing on an above ground subway platform, and just. It just holds on that, and you hear in the distance like the train like coming, and you don't know what she's gonna do. You think she's just gonna get on the train, and all of a sudden she just like spreads out her arm, swan dive, and then as the train is like about to hit her, just we go black again, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, sure.
I love it.
The only thing I was gonna say
an art house
is
film doesn't do a post credit scene. Chris Treble, what are you thinking?
You know what? I'm breaking the medium, just like every art house film does.
It's a comment on modern films.
Yes.
The only tweak I was going to say is that maybe she walks calmly onto the tracks rather than
okay.
Yes.
know which.
Yeah. No, calmly.
Because it's more
and instead of a subway, it's an old-timey train. Train tracks.
I was thinking
modern train tracks, old-timey train.
I feel like
like definitely New York subway above ground station, but in this moment, and no one seems to be phased by this, steam engine comes through.
I love it. Andrew.
I think as well, I think an alternate ending that can be on the DVD is instead of cutting to black when she runs right into it, we see her get hit and we think that's the end, but then a single tear comes out and she starts masturbating.
And does she masturbate like that?
Again, no one can see that.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's just by the way, everyone throughout this entire, I don't know, do you do this for every episode where like through the whole recording you just give the masturbating hand motion?
Probably.
Because he hasn't stopped. We started.
We continue.
I'm still
we
doing
gesture
it right now.
normally.
He also when he does it,
complex.
if you notice, he gives himself a lot of credit on the sides of that masturbation.
I'm going up like this.
It's like, yeah, you look like you're like
what is
pulling blinds on a window.
Okay, casting directors.
Yeah.
Who are we? What's happening?
I say Paul Dano.
For who?
Oh yeah,
Old
Simon.
woman?
Simon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine too.
I like the old woman. I don't know.
Who's Bart? Josh Gad?
No,
he's
Ryan
too big
Stiles.
John C. Reilly.
No, he's
That's
too
pretty good,
big.
too.
These guys are too big.
All right, then who's
You
Simon?
gotta, you gotta think smaller.
And who's Simon? Paul Dano's pretty big now.
I know, but he's
but
like
he's
Mr.
big
Indie
for
King.
being in those movies.
Yeah. Bart.
Well,
Who's
I
like
guess
an
I'll do it.
under-known character actor?
Yoko Ono.
For the old woman?
No, Bart.
Oh, okay.
Or the old woman.
Man,
I actually like
That's a great
Yoko Ono
idea.
for the old woman.
Yeah.
she's way older than I imagined, but okay. For Bart, I don't know.
I think Daisy Ridley for the last person who comes in.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, because you want to have like one kind of
Star
mainstream
that is like,
A-list
wait,
cameo
but
that you're like,
wait,
what the
you're
fuck?
like in 2 minutes of this movie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Who's Bart?
I guess it's
Who's in Baskets? Who plays the mom?
Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson?
For
Sure.
Bart?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah. Let's get like a comedian who you like in the same way that Rodney Dangerfield is in Natural Born Killers and things like.
I could really see
somebody
him
you would
shitting
never
on a
see.
piece of art too, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, great.
I like that. Did we cast the old woman yet?
Yoko
Yoko
Ono.
Oh, Yoko Ono. Right, that's
that was
right.
that was my
That was
idea.
the one. Yeah, I know. That's why it instantly went out of my head.
And we got the name already, right?
Yes.
Is
The
that
Art House.
Fantastic.
The art house?
The
Art House. They could rewrite the song "Our House" to be about. And that would be the
I
theme.
love it. My
Should it be
Chemical
the,
Romance.
the art house or just art house?
Art House. Just
Art-
Art
I think it
House,
should
no
be
the.
the Art House.
in cursive because Art House sounds like a comedy.
Well, again, I think it should be the Art House.
Oh, two thes extra fancy,
Extra pretentious.
extra pretentious.
I'm against it. I like the art house or
Yeah.
the art house or art house.
Well-
I kind of like the art
Say
house.
the Art House or the Art House.
Yeah.
How would you spell those differently on a poster?
THEE.
Just.
like for the.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think,
on that
I
one.
think it's spelled the same way. It just depends on the font that you use
Yeah,
in the poster.
cursive.
Is whether it's the
or how pretentious
the.
the person is watching,
Yeah.
looking at the
Yeah.
poster.
Okay.
And that's how you judge who you're watching it with. If they call it the Art House, you're like, you're a douche.
yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that
Alright, cool.
seemed fairly successful for something that I thought was going to be a huge train wreck after you introduced us into it.
You gave us a good challenge.
Yeah, this is really good job.
Oh, train wreck. She gets killed. Was that too soon?
No.
Too
Okay,
late, really. Too late.
Oh man, this just reminded me though of seeing this artsy fartsy film, and I forget what it was called, but
Great
it was in,
Sorry.
Captain America.
but it was in Swedish, and this
Captain
was like
America.
years and years ago, on a date with this girl, and the whole time, and like there's a scene where somebody gets dildoed, and like
Is that a verb?
I just made it a verb, and
If you had seen this movie, it became a verb.
Yeah, yep. You're quite
it was a pegging actually.
You're quite
'cause it
a
was
Bill
guy.
Shakesman.
And a woman pegs him, and I remember thinking that when we were starting the movie that it was going to be a thriller, and then
And
seeing
it
that
certainly
scene,
was.
And that scene, I was like, I don't know what movie this is.
Can I?
How'd that date go
Wait,
overall?
this begs to ask a question about our friendship, because how many movies? Because I have a story about you that is similar to that. How many movies
Does it involve pegging?
have you gone on a date to that the movie has turned out to be the way wrong movie to take a date to? This is now the second account that I know of.
I mean, I don't have that problem anymore because I just don't go on dates anymore.
Movies in general are, in my opinion, not a great
Really?
date thing.
Because I usually think that it is, as long as you know what you're getting. That's,
Hey, do you want to come with me and sit in silence for a couple hours?
well, I have a problem, like, when I like somebody, I got a problem, like, talking.
No,
And-
I get that.
You know? and the movie gives me, like, a thing to talk about.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
also it gives you a chance to not talk for a little while.
Yeah, that too. And also then you could just be like, oh, man, what about that pegging scene?
And then they're like,
What was
yeah,
the
what
other
are you
movie
thinking?
that Chris was talking about?
Is that why we went and saw this?
Do you the other movie?
Yeah, what was the other
Should
example
I tell
of
this
this?
story?
Yeah.
Debbie Does Dallas.
For those of you who don't know, Eric and I actually go way back.
Yeah.
To
College.
to Westchester. Yeah. So this was during your freshman year?
I was living with you guys for a couple
For
weeks.
a couple weeks,
Yeah.
yeah. So during the Christmas break, Eric was in a show, and they closed down the dorms, and he needed to stay in our apartment while they were rehearsing. And so he had a date, and he was like, "Hey, just I have a date, and I'm probably going to bring her back here, and maybe watch a movie or something." And I and I was like, oh, you know what's it would probably be a fun date movie because it's a really funny movie and it's like a romantic comedy. It's The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And it didn't quite add up in my head just how many dick jokes there are in there.
Wow. What a great friend.
Also,
I just remember
was virgin at that point.
Yes. And so...
This was a couple weeks ago.
So he brings... I mean, I also didn't help anything because he brings the girl over, and I was like trying to get out of the apartment.
You were being pretty polite.
I knew about when they were going to get home, and so I was like cleaning up the apartment for them and trying to make it nice for him.
Yeah.
And they got there, and I wasn't quite done. So I was kind of like Scotolati's mom for a little bit. I was like, oh, don't mind me, I'm just cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting in the living room, and they
definitely not making any physical contact.
No, not at all. Like he was sitting strictly on like one cushion of the couch, and she was on a separate cushion of the couch. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave you guys, and I leave. And they watch the movie, and like a couple days later, he's talking to me, and he's like, oh, by the way, worst suggestion ever for a movie. Do you know? And it was so uncomfortable, and I was like, why? And he's like, well, what about that part where like he has a visible erection when he gets out of bed? And I was like, all right, I forget. And then he just starts listing parts of the 40-Year-Old Virgin that are just like dick and fart jokes, and I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, also, it's all about a guy just trying to have sex. And I was like, right, on second thought, that was a terrible choice.
If I remember correctly, though, it ends in a
well
romantic way.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the second date I had with her, also at your house.
Yes.
We watched Ray, just as awkward. It was just like, what? Why are we watching this biopic drama?
About a heroin addict?
Wait. What would have been a good choice?
I don't know.
Yeah.
A funny movie that's not about sex.
Maybe the problem has to be focused inward.
No.
Maybe you have to look inside.
No.
I think it was just all her fault.
Yeah.
And since she's
I meant she needs to.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
And since she's not on mic, yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the
You know
person.
what I was thinking might help you on dates now?
Yeah. What?
Maybe if you bring the microphone with you.
Just put it in their face and be like, so.
No, just put it in front of your face.
No, the microphone.
the microphone.
Put the
Bring
microphone
your microphone.
in her.
She'll go back home and like her roommate's like on the couch. She slams the door and she like tosses the back down. She's like, "Hey, how was your day?" She's like, "He talked about Ben Affleck's Batman for like 5 hours."
Every 5 minutes, he'd bring it back around to Ben
No,
Affleck.
hold
And the
on.
roommates, like I heard that. He posted it on that.
That's how you know it's worth it.
Oh.
If she stays after that,
Who did I mention on my date with her? Do you remember?
right?
No, I don't.
North Star.
Oh, the first one, yes, because we were talking about like I was like, listen, well, I don't know why. Looking back, you used me as your dating guru. Or
Terrible
something.
idea.
Terrible idea.
Well,
huge mistake.
I don't think I think it's clear I didn't know much.
No.
I think I don't know much more now. But
Yeah, but the best thing that you do know is don't ask me for advice.
Yeah.
But
I can tell
we
that
were
just
like,
by looking
hey,
at you.
Listen, whatever you do, don't talk about comic books. Don't make yourself out to be a huge geek.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna work out for you. And the first thing, as soon as they walk in, he's like, "So, you ever hear of North Star?" And I was like, "Stop it, Eric! Stop right now! Abort!"
I don't know what that is.
North Star is a member of Alpha Flight. Oh man.
Here we go.
I'm not on a date with you right now.
Okay, then there's no stress. There's no stress.
Then there's no need to go into this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that means you should or should not.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, are you? Pretty soon this is just going to turn into the media lunch break.
So North Star. Well, there is a reason because she brought up. We were talking about.
She brought up South Star.
She brought up. For some reason we got talking about gay rights, and I said, "Hey, comic books are pretty progressive." And I think I was just looking for a way to bring up comics to see if she read comics. And I was like, do you know North Star? And she was like, no. And
she was like, no, because I'm an adult human.
yeah. And I was like, because he's an openly gay Marvel character. He's a member of Alpha Flight. And I just remember her like her eyes just like drifting away from me.
She was like, I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah, she did. She did make a huge mistake.
By giving up on you.
No, by ever agreeing to go out with me. Yeah.
Can we just
I put a
point
little
out?
judgment on her for saying yes.
Yeah, she should
Can
know
we
better.
just point out that slowly people are just leaving this podcast
Yeah.
out of the room? And I feel like now that Sean isn't here, we have to just vamp until he gets back because he
I know
ends the show.
And now I'm like, I don't think I before I was like, oh, I could talk about like whatever till the cows come home, and now I don't have a safety net.
Can we just, as soon as
I'm like
someone...
a flying Grayson over here. Somebody cut the rope.
As soon as someone... Oh my God. As soon as someone comes back into the room, can we just pretend we're wrapping up another movie? And be like, oh, we did it without you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is just so, like, I just keep waiting for, like, and then you leave, and then Andrew and I are just talking, and then Andrew leaves, and now I'm just talking.
Yeah. So we're like, it's probably time to end the episode.
I was like, Sean just got so bored with us that he actually left his own podcast.
I was like, pretty soon this is going to become the Media Lunch Break podcast.
So Summer left because she had to go to a stupid work training thing.
Meeting.
And then she called me because she forgot her wallet and asked me to grab it from
And
her
then I
purse.
went downstairs and we made out for a little bit.
And run it outside to her while she pulled up in the car because she wasn't back here by the time she called me.
It was insane.
So I guess it's time for... And I said, well, I should tell them that. And then I was like, I'm sure I'll be fine. They'll keep talking until I come back.
Yep.
And
That's
I
what we're good
that
for.
that's what happened.
Yep. There was no dead air.
Well, thank you for listening to Not Movies.
For as much of it as you have. If you're still with us.
If you've
and
made
our
it this far,
post-credit sequence.
this is a post-credit sequence.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at Not Movies. Thank you again to the Media Lunch Break for
Thank you,
making it
guys.
out.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they will be back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
And anything else? Go listen to the rest of our episodes. Go listen to their stuff. You can Google them. Just put it in quotes. The Media Lunch
The
Break.
Media Lunch Break. We're on 9 different platforms. You can find us
And
somehow.
we're
we
on
didn't
all
really
of
talk about what you guys do. So let's do that real
Yes.
quick.
Okay.
Because
We,
what you
we
do,
mostly just stick around.
Yeah.
stick around. Movie news. Or
Yeah.
movie
Yeah,
news.
movies,
nerd
comics,
news.
nerd stuff.
Yeah, so usually we'll do 2 episodes a week. We'll start off with one where it's usually just kind of news of the day, whatever's going on in kind of movie or geek culture, and then we'll split it off to a second episode that is more of a one topic thing.
Well, half of it is a topic that we discuss, and the other half is a review of something, a movie, a comic book.
One thing that we
comic
like
book
to
that you
do
guys give to
is I'm very much a DC person. Andrew is very much a Marvel person, and so in order to educate one another on the other things that are out there, we'll give each other a reading assignment, and that we'll take a week to read and then review on the next episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a great
Thank you.
podcast. You should really
Thank
listen
you.
to
Thank
it.
you for having us. We really like you guys too. And
Yeah.
if this is on our podcast as well, everyone should head over to the Not Movies podcast.
If you're
and give a
listening to this
listen.
on our channel, station, whatever those are things they're called on the interwebs.
Radio
Channel. I think.
Sure, let's say that.
I think channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Head over to. I almost said the Media Lunch Break. And I was like,
Competent
"That's not right."
professionals.
Go over to Not Movies and give them a listen. There's at least one episode for everyone because you
I
guys.
thought you were going to say there's at least one episode.
There's at least one episode you'll like.
I think he's probably right.
I think so. Yeah. And I really enjoyed yours too. I was hesitant to start it because it's not my. I'm not the most passionate.
Listen,
about Marvel
I
or
get it.
DC.
You took one look at our faces.
Oh God, that logo you guys have is so slick
real-
and it
oh,
looks
yes.
so good. There's so many colors. They're so vibrant. I love it.
It's great.
Really
it's so
pops.
fantastic.
I really
the
like
artist
it.
for that is just really fantastic.
Yeah.
No,
He's-
that's not what you
he's
think.
really good.
It's not what you think. There's something happening here. There's a power dynamic, a power play right here, because I did a revamped version of our new logo. And look, I think as far as
No.
Wait,
You
wait,
did a
wait.
revamp.
Did
You did a revamp of our old logo.
Wait,
that turned into a new logo.
is it on right now? Because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a reversal of the colors. It's not a lot of it's not. I like our logo. So
I love your logo.
Thank you. And I think that it's
Sean, you made that logo, right?
No, I did not.
Ah, damn it.
Well, I helped.
There you
Eric
go.
sent me a
Eric
phone
said you
picture
emailed
of a
and
doodle,
said, "Do
and
you like
I
this?"
turned it into a green doodle.
Look, I've already given you guys a poster that you can use, and I don't know why you don't.
It's just
It does fit our
I just
aesthetic.
want something more than 2 colors.
It's too
All right,
busy.
I'll
That's
make it
my-
rainbow.
that's
I can
my-
change the letters to rainbow colored.
To be fair, I didn't even create theirs for the intention of a logo. I'm super flattered that you guys use it as a logo. For ours, I was like, I'm gonna keep it simple, keep it bold. You know, like 2 colors. That's all you.
I know. I just like the style of theirs better. I'm sorry.
Oh, well. Can't
have everything.
Maybe you
commission
should,
him.
Maybe you should have a birthday because that's what I gave.
You should
Maybe one day I will.
If it's any consolation, we spent a long time with one that is way worse than the one you guys use.
I can't picture.
I like.
Oh,
your
it's just
first one.
MT.
No,
Oh, no.
it's
an old one.
It's two.
I made it on
them.
MS Paint.
And it's them with like a Hawkeye shirt and a
Green
Green
Lantern.
Lantern shirt.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I do remember seeing that.
With an orange background. It's real bad.
No, I like
love
it.
it,
I
actually.
like
It's not bad, yeah.
Again, I think that simple, you know, the design.
Listen,
it'll grab you.
it's really, this isn't necessary. It took me 10 minutes on MS Paint. We can just
No,
move on.
I did like it.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Let's leave,
I
please.
can't
Again.
believe you're still listening to this.
and we will probably see you
suckers.
next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.